Hi, it's just Tommy. Our conversation today is going to be just a little different. I was having a conversation with a few friends, and we were just talking about marriage in general and just how sometimes marriage stinks. Just to be blunt. But we all could agree that being married for an extended amount of time or being with somebody for a long time, like, it is a growing experience, especially when you meet as two halves and not two wholes. And so that means he had issues and problems that he brought into the relationship, and you had issues and problems that you brought into the relationship that you hadn't quite gotten over yet and quite healed from. But you were steady wanting that partner and wanting to have someone, but you were trying to make them kind of conform to you and your situation because that's the way that you've been handling things. And a lot of times that does not work. I know with me, I got married young when I was 20, and I'd gone through a lot of stuff when I was younger. And so even with that marriage, I was just broken. I was a broken individual, and there were so many things that happened within the marriage. Through me and my then husband, and then with friends and family, and even the pastor we were under. Like, it was just constant battles after battles. And if you don't have strong guidance and leadership over your marriage to kind of help through those tumultuous times and kind of keep you on track of the vows that you made, divorce is really easy. Divorce is the only way you see out of the situation. A lot of people go into marriage saying, okay, if it don't work out, I can always get a divorce. But when you marry and you think about those vows, it's for better or for worse, till death do us part, for richer or for poor. And you completely commit yourself to one other individual. So I think with society today, we've all kind of been able to take it lightly and just say the words. But when you think about it, like back when people's word counted, and you could have a binding agreement with a handshake, marriages lasted a long time. And not to say that they were not perfect, they weren't, but their ultimate goal was to stay together. And so, yes, sometimes marriage, it does stink. You want your way a lot of times, and just trying to submit to someone else and not to yourself. That's one of the hardest things to do. Like, forsaking your own ways for the sake of another. It's a lesson that you have to learn. You have to live it. And even in me and my husband, we've gone through so much, some serious battles. But even when separation, because we've been separated before too, God has always had a final say, and those words that were spoken would always come back to my remembrance, and I would have to kind of check myself, and we both have. And I think that because we've been the type of people that don't hold grudges, and we're very accepting, both of us, for each other. We understand that people are flawed, mistakes happen, but you can forgive, and you can honestly forget. A lot of people say, I forgive them, but I sure don't forget. If you haven't forgotten, that means that remorse and that anger and that resentment is still in you. Like, you've got to learn to just let it go and relax. And marriage is work. It is just like, if you want sweet tea, you got to put some sugar in it. If you want seasoned rice, you got to put some salt in it. It's what you put in, it's what you're going to get out. And so, the song that comes onto my mind with this is, even though the battles that have come, with health, with kids, with finances, with family interference, with friends interfering. Just God, He'll get the glory. He always does, and He has. And trials will still come, of course, but we've got to learn to face them head on and get in that huddle with your spouse. COVID has come, and it's very uncomfortable, yes, but it has also allowed us to kind of slow down and focus on those things that are important. I've learned to focus on those things that are important through diagnosis and misdiagnosis and close calls, and life isn't promised, and so I want to get the best out. I want my relationship to reflect the good, the bad, the ugly, but the endurance of love. And so that's what I'm trying to teach my children who have married young, that marriage can definitely work and can definitely last, but it's something that you gotta go for, cat. And so I'm gonna leave you with this song. Love is patient, caring, love is kind, love is found most when it's genuine. Love, I've had my share of love, abused, manipulated, and my strength was misused, but I can't help but give God glory when I think about my story, and I know He favors me because my enemies did try, but couldn't triumph over me. Yes, they did try, but couldn't triumph over me. Keep that in mind when you're thinking about your husband or your wife, and stick it out and stay together and continue to be an example to your kids and your community. This is Just Tommy. Tune in again. God bless.